Hey, this video is brush washing 101, and it's for you if you are somebody who uses 2 brushes in the morning and they never leave your bathroom, and it's also for you if you're a makeup artist and you run from client to client and you're worried about how to keep your brushes sanitized. And this video is for all of us. These practices are for all of us, whether we are in a pandemic or not. So I'm going to walk you through my entire practice that I've been following for over a decade and teach you exactly how I do it. So the first step is laying out all my brushes in front of me. So sometimes there's 3 brushes to wash and sometimes there's 50. I organize them by fluffy brushes, synthetic foundation and concealer brushes, eye brushes, and then the ones that I know are going to need a lot of extra attention, which are like lip brushes and like eyeliner brushes. Anything that might hold on to the product, the makeup a little bit more intensely, I'm going to give serious focus to. So then I grab my trusty makeup brush wash. This is a great one from Jenny Patinkin. It is fragrance free, which I love. It comes in a metal container, which is recyclable and I love. And it's antibacterial and antimicrobial, another thing I love. And I reached out to Jenny and said, what in this ingredient list makes it so? And she said the vitamin E. But I also wonder if it's the coconut oil as well, which we know is antimicrobial and antibacterial. So we are covered on these 2 fronts. I then take 2 bowls. I'm not one to run the water while I'm washing the brushes. No need. 2 stainless steel bowls. Fill them with about 1.5 inches of water. Start the process. So I take the brush that's covered in foundation and I dip it in the water. And then I begin the process. This is quite self-explanatory, right? We've all seen quite a few hand washing videos lately. You know that the suds are really what begin to break down the virus. So we want to make sure that we get the entire brush head very, very well sudsed. You can bring it down onto the handles as well. So I do it like this first. I make sure that it's completely saturated and then I let it sit. I go through my entire lineup of brushes. Then, once I'm back at number 1 again, I go to my second bowl of water and I really work that brush into the water, into the side of the bowl to make sure that all the product is out, all the soap is out, and we, at this stage, can really inspect the brush. So it's a good idea to do this in good lighting. So it's super clean. This is not the final stage. Then I run it under hot water just for a minute. I make sure I do it in my palm, make sure that it's super clean. I also want to point out that never, once you've started washing your brushes, you never want to cross-contaminate. So no touching your face. It's a great idea to put your hair up. Make sure that you're following good practices of non-contamination yourself or the brushes again. So then we let them dry. You always want to let your brush dry on the edge of the counter like this. You never want to do this, and you never want to dry your brush like this because the water will drip from the brushes or from the bristles down into the ferrule and potentially ruin the adhesive and ruin the handle. So lay them on the edge of the counter, and that's not the final step, but moving on to sponge washing. Same process, super simple, but sometimes sponges require 2 or 3 passes through the process, and sometimes I'll even let them soak in water with a little either shampoo, or once I've thoroughly coated them with Jenny's brush wash, I will let them soak in one of the buckets of water. Then when I'm done, I will run it under hot water until it runs clean, and I always will just go back and set it on the dish drain to let that dry so that there's air circulating all the way around it. So I do one final step. After years of working in hospitals as a social worker with clients, patients who were immune compromised, I take no chances and I spray everything with alcohol. So I go back in and make sure that everything gets a little dusting of alcohol spray. And then do the same thing for the sponge. I asked Jenny if that will ruin her sponge because I did it for years on beauty blenders. And she said, there's no indication that it will ruin it. And I've been doing it now since I've got the sponges about a month, and they are holding up great. So I hope that you guys are really, really dedicated to keeping your sponges and your brushes super clean. It's so important. Until next time.